Well, good morning. It's a Sunday morning, and a friend of mine called me up, and he has a deal for me. He wants to trade me a 340 engine block 1970 with big valve heads for one of my most favored, shall we say, junk cars. I never call them junk, really. It's a parts car, and I bought it to part it out. I do love the car. It's kind of a weird connection. I didn't buy it to restore it because she's too far gone. But I just really like the car. And he offered me this 340, and for me, in the business of selling parts, the 340 is probably worth more than the actual car, and definitely worth more than I've got in the car. But now, if I part the entire car out, it's probably more profitable, but she's not been a very big seller, shall we say. So I'm very much considering this trade. I'm probably going to go ahead and do it. Y'all can comment if you want and say, you're an idiot, that you should keep that car. But I'm going to show you the car real quick, and it's a cool car, and if it was in better shape, I would definitely put her on my list of restorations. But she's pretty rough, and I'd like to see somebody restore her as opposed to just parting her out, just because I do like the car. So maybe with a little luck, he'll actually do something with it. Chances are he'll trade it back to me because we do that all the time. And also today, it's going to be the conclusion of a big title mess. I bought a car from this friend a while back, and we just did it on a bill of sale. And he told me the guy he got the car from had lost the title. If he ever shows up with a title, he's going to give it to him, and I would get the title. And I'll tell you that whole story in a little bit. But for now, and then we're going to go over some title issues and how to avoid this happening to you. But anyway, we're going to go over the car right now. I'm going to show you the car that he wants to trade for. And it's not just the 340, it's a complete 340, but he's throwing in a 1970 or 71 383 4-barrel intake. It's worth something. Me, I'm a big block guy, but I like the 440s and the 426s. But, and of course, who doesn't like a Hemi? So it's just going to be another item for me to put available for you all, that if you want to buy from me. But we're going to go over the car here real quick, and then we'll go from there. Well, here's the car. She's a 1968 AMC Rebel. I love this car. Before I make you fall in love with it, I'm going to show you the problems. One, no glass. None, zero. Hasn't had any in a long time. Interior's pretty much trashed. But there. The dash is cool, but again, missing pieces and pretty trashed. The roof is church going. It's holy. I'm not sure what this roof skin is off of. It came with the car. So I've been keeping it on here just to keep the weather out. Okay, maybe that's it's true, that is why it's up there, but with no glass, I'm not sure it's doing a very good job. This is a 290 car, and let's see if I can get the hood open with one hand here. There we go. I'm not gonna open it too much because that spring over there is pretty tight. She's been a home for some rodents here, if you can see that. It's a seriously rodent infested area, and believe it or not, it survived about a 200-mile trip on the trailer with that rodent nest intact. I've sold the shroud out of it, and other than that, she's pretty complete as far as the engine goes. It's a 290 V8. I did sell the grill out of it, but she's got good headlight bezels, and the bumper's still there, even though it's kind of hanging down. Oops, I dropped something. But overall, she's a pretty decent little ride. As far as the body, she's pretty solid. I did sell this fender off of her already. And but if you look down the side of the car, the body is decent. But finding glass for this car, finding someone who's willing to cut a roof off of this car, or if you're very skilled, you could probably make your own roof skin, or even adapt, maybe try to adapt that one to it. If you're very, very skilled, it's a doable car. And I have seriously thought about it, but I've got way too many projects. As you guys, if you follow my channel at all, you'll you'll know for sure on that. And I've just got, it's just too far gone for me to mess with it. There's a few goodies in the trunk. I'm not going to go over that because I need to get down to my friend's house and take care of these title issues that I've explained to you, and then make this deal if I'm going to go ahead and do it. I think I am. I really am going to be sad to see this old girl go, but he is a good friend of mine, and the odds are he'll trade her back to me at some point in life, because we have traded. I've traded cars with him. I had the same car come back and forth. In fact, just for the fun of the video, I'll take you over here. And I have sold and or traded this car to him. I think this is like the third time I've ended up with it back. I'm not really sure why, because there's not a lot left on it, but it is a 1970 Coronet. It has a Charger fender on it, and that Charger fender was not part of the trade when we traded. But yep, this car here is something that I have traded back and forth with him 2 or 3 times. And so just to show you that. So the chances are I will end up back with this Rebel at some point. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a walk and get to the truck, get in the truck, and we're going to head over to his house. Forgive my horsey voice and constant sniffling and maybe even a cough or two. I've been down with the flu for about a week now. If you'll notice, there's no video of last week, and that is just because I have been too sick to do so. Coming up again on the truck. Just for kicks and giggles, folks, cheap insurance. We don't have a lot of crime in this area, but I had a friend that while he was attending the police academy, somebody stole his truck. And so ever since then, I've put these clubs on here. Plus, if you want to warm your truck up in the wintertime, you can put the club on there and run it, and they can't drive away with it. We're coming near my buddy's place. I thought it might be worth mentioning. This place off to my left, let's try that again. My right is actually the I-40 dragway, and So I figured I'd give you all a little glimpse of the dragway as we go by. And so you get a little look down the drag strip as we pass. It's kind of hard to drive and hold this camera, but there you go, I-40 dragway, the back side of it, and we just went underneath I-40, so it gives you an idea of where we're at. Okay, we're coming up on his place, and I'm gonna have to back in because his place turns to a big muck pile, and when it rains, and it's been raining quite a bit, we had a little storm yesterday. Actually, we had some tornadoes ripped through some areas yesterday, Friday I think it was, and kind of tore stuff up, but not here, thank God, but a little further west of us. Anyway, we're here, so now we're gonna have to back in his driveway simply because I've got to back up to his truck to pick up an engine. I'm not sure you're gonna be able to see much just looking out that back window, but I've got to back the truck up all the way down his driveway. Now, I've done this with a trailer several times because if I'm picking up a car, there's no room to turn around in his yard, so I always have to back the trailer all the way in, and it's not the easiest place to back into. He's got, as you can probably, I don't know if you can see it, but there's fences and gates and all sorts of little tiny gravel driveway, and this big dually pretty much takes up all of the driveway and then a little bit of grass as well. So we're backing her up a little at a time, just trying to stay in the gravel. And not sure, he said he's going to have his truck backed up with a motor in it. I forgot to mention, I'm picking up a 400 Mopar engine that we traded for some time ago. I've been doing the business with this guy for near 20 years, and he's just a good old boy, a good friend of mine, and he, you know, we trade on a handshake most of the time, and I'm going to tell you that story in a little while, how we traded on a handshake and on a car that I was just going to part out, and it kind of bit us because there was a big title mess, and I'm going to explain all that a little bit later when I'm not backing the truck up. But right now I'm trying to back the truck up, and okay, I see his truck in the back here, and so we're just going to try to back right up to it. We'll drop the gate, and I'll leave the camera rolling while we're doing it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. You'll probably be able to see a bunch of it through the window here, and hopefully he won't object too much. Otherwise, I'll have to cut a lot of this out if he doesn't like the idea of y'all seeing his face. I don't think he's going to mind too much. He ain't all that pretty, but I don't think he's going to care. He might, though. You know, some people are sensitive about becoming non-famous, but there won't be. I'll just go ahead and I'm going to have to go ahead and jump out and drop the gate, and I'll leave the camera rolling so y'all can see. Gotta love that old truck. Is that not like the coolest truck you've ever seen? I can't get it off him, but I've tried. I'm gonna keep trying. Well, while he's digging out that motor for me to look at, I'm gonna go ahead and look this old truck over. And unfortunately, he's video shy, so I'm not gonna be able to show you the video of us unloading it. And this side's not quite as nice, but it's still got some really awesome patina on this truck. And other than that bed being a little smashed, I'd probably try to straighten that out a little bit, but I wouldn't change much of it either. Well, there's some stuff in there, so we can't see much, but what a cool truck. Oh, look, custom bodywork right there. You probably don't want to put too much in the bed here. That's it. It's a sweet little truck. Maybe someday he'll trade it to me. Well, there's the 340. It looks like an engine. Can we get at the casting numbers, you think? Where you said it was a 70, right? Yeah. 71. Okay, 71. All right. Yeah, I trust you. It's not like we haven't been doing business forever. There we go. Well, what you didn't see is us spending 2 hours jawing at each other and just talking story. And I did sit and talk to him about that old truck, and he's got some pretty good plans for it. He's going to try to leave the patina there, though, and it's on a late model chassis, which I didn't realize. And so he's planning on building a pretty sweet little ride. Personally, I would just put a leaning tower of power in that thing and drive it, and put a big old low car 3-speed shifter in the middle of the seat or seats for me. But I guess he's planning on putting a big block in it and making a bit of a hot rod, and that'd be cool too. But I'm just making a cool driver out of it myself. I told him when he gets tired of it, he won't let go of it right now, but I told him when he gets tired of it to go ahead and throw me a price or some kind of trade on it and see if I can't get that old truck off him someday. But for now, it's not for sale. And we're out of here, gonna head to the house, and I guess he's gonna come by and look at that old Rebel and finalize the deal. But that's pretty much this deal. But when we get back to the house, we're gonna go over the whole title issue that I talked about. Well, folks, unfortunately, all that build up during this video, the film got corrupted. So there's no sound. So that entire story I was going to tell you on that video is not there. Like the first 2 minutes of it, and after that, the nitty gritty of the story, it's gone. No audio. So I could have dubbed it in, but I figured rather than do that, I'd rather do a little bit better quality video of that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to download this particular video up to this point, and the very next video, and I'm going to try to shoot it either tomorrow or the day after. That way there's not a lot of lag time before it. But it's late at night and I've got a white wall background, and I'd rather, have you guys have a little bit of something besides me sitting you telling you a story. So I apologize, the video got corrupted on that. So all that build up during this video about the title mess, I promise you it's a really good story. It's about open titles and the badness that can happen on handshake deals, and and that type of using open titles. So it's a little bit lengthy of a story. I could tell it now, but I think I'm going to let you wait. That way I can give you a little bit better quality video rather than sitting here with a white wall background and just kind of talking. So I do appreciate you watching this video. I hope you liked it. It's not really what I had intended, but it is kind of cool. Went out and got a deal, picked up an engine. You didn't really get to see much of that engine other than me unloading it, but it did get to see the 340 making the deal. And I haven't actually still made the deal yet, so maybe y'all can comment and tell me, do you think I should trade for the 340 or maybe hang on to the Rebel? So it gives you guys a little more of an opportunity to focus on that part of the video, on wheels and deals and how I do business here. And I still haven't quite made it. I told him I was willing, but he hasn't okayed it yet. So there's still a time to back out. Let me know what you think. If you think that maybe the 340 is better than the Rebel, or maybe for you AMC fans, the Rebel's kind of cool, right? But I'm not going to fix it up, so I'd rather send it to somebody that will, and that was part of my decision, is why I decided I'd probably trade, is because maybe he'll save the car, and since I like the car, better he saves it than me part it out, right? So anyway, folks, thank you for watching. Do me a favor, subscribe, watch my other videos, because this is probably not the best one. I could be wrong. Sometimes I don't think they're good, and they end up taking off, so who knows? But it's kind of cool just because you get to check out the Rebel and the deal, and wheels and deals and what you would do. I will promise you to get back to you on that whole title story, and I just haven't figured what kind of theme I want to put with it. I thought maybe the whole going there and getting the paperwork from him and all that stuff would be kind of cool, but it failed, unfortunately. So anyway, that's enough talking. I know nobody ever watches the end of these stupid things anyway, but maybe you watch the end of this one, and I do apologize for not having the ending like I planned, but I will put it out shortly. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.